Kourtney Kardashian pushes back on fake school system. Kourtney Kardashian has pushed back on the fake school systems. It seems like she may not be sending any of her children to school. However, it sounds like she could not believe it all. Fans are appalled at what she had to say. Kourtney has had her own way of parenting for a long time. However, not everyone agrees with it. Keep reading to find out more about this situation. Learning how to parent a blended family. Kourtney Kardashian is married to Travis Barker, so the two have had to learn how to navigate a blended family. Both Travis and Kourtney have children from previous relationships, so the kids may push back a bit when taking discipline from the other parent. Fans are also curious to know how this has affected the children and if they are all close with each other. Kourtney has been strict in her ways before. She was having a Candyland-themed party for her child. However, she did not want any actual candy due to not wanting her children to have sugar. She got a lot of criticism for this, even from her sisters. Kourtney Kardashian pushes back on fake school system. Kourtney Kardashian pushed back on the fake school system. She sounds like she does not want to ever send her kids to school. It seems as though Kourtney is not going to send her children to school. Close seem to agree with her. They do not like the public school setting or any school in general. Khloe made it seem like she would be homeschooling. However, the way Kourtney worded things made fans wonder if she was going to send her kids to school at all. Kourtney Kardashian was never one to blindly follow the rules, especially not when they involved her children. Over the years, fans had seen her go from reality TV star to wellness mogul, but nothing stirred her fire quite like being a mother. And now, as the end of the school year approached, Kourtney was done biting her tongue about what she called the fake school system. It started when she received a strongly worded email from the head administrator at the elite private school her son Rain attended. The subject line read, "Unexcused absences and academic compliance concern." Kourtney rolled her eyes before she even opened it. She was at home in Calabasas, lounging on her patio with a fresh cup of her Lemmy Matcha blend. The sun was warm on her skin, and Penelope was painting a ceramic unicorn beside her. The email said Reen had missed too many days, and that his academic progress might be hindered by his lack of in-person attendance. Kourtney exhaled sharply. Hindered by what? Sitting under fluorescent lights, learning how to regurgitate answers on a standardized test. She muttered, "No thanks." Travis, overhearing her frustration as he tuned his vintage guitar nearby, looked up. Another email about Rain's truancy. Apparently letting your kid explore the world and learn through real-life experience is now a punishable offense, she snapped. Later that day, Kourtney took to Instagram with a fiery post that sent shockwaves through both the education system and her following of 224 million. "I am done pretending the current education model works for everyone. If my son misses a few days of robotic instruction to visit a nature reserve, study the stars in Joshua Tree, or bake bread from scratch with his family, I don't see that as falling behind. I see that as living. Schools should inspire minds, not imprison them." The post was accompanied by a photo of Rain sitting cross-legged under a tree, reading a book on ancient civilizations, a hawk soaring behind him. Kourtney's DMs flooded. Parents applauded her. Teachers reached out in support. Even a few school administrators messaged her anonymously, saying they agreed but couldn't say so publicly. But not everyone was pleased. One of the PTA mothers from the school emailed her a passive-aggressive message, suggesting that celebrity privilege shouldn't excuse disrespect for structure. Kourtney responded directly. "Structure is important, but so is freedom. My children aren't robots. If that makes me disruptive, so be it." That night, over dinner, Kourtney shared her vision with her family. I want to create something different, she said. A micro school. A real place of learning. Not about test scores and GPAs, but curiosity. Are you really ready to take on the entire school system, honey? I'm ready to offer a better way. Not everyone will agree, but they don't have to. Within weeks, the Let Me Learn project was born. Kourtney leased a property in Malibu, a rustic chic estate tucked in the hills, with classrooms that looked more like sanctuaries and gardens filled with edible herbs. There were yoga mats instead of desks, salt lamps in every room, and teachers who weren't hired based on rigid credentials, but on passion and presence. Children meditated, explored the ocean, wrote poetry in the sand, coded apps, and learned financial literacy from actual entrepreneurs. Her critics called it another celebrity vanity project, but enrollment doubled within the first month. At a press event for Poosh, Kourtney didn't hold back when a reporter asked about the backlash. I think the real vanity project is pretending the current education system hasn't failed countless children. I'm not trying to replace every school. I'm just building one where my children, and any child, can actually thrive. If that threatens the system, maybe the system needs to be threatened. Soon, celebrities like Alicia Keys, Shailene Woodley, and even Elon Musk took notice, sending their children or visiting for consultations. Kourtney had tapped into a quiet desperation. Parents who knew the system wasn't serving their children, but felt powerless. She started a podcast series called Detention Reimagined, where she hosted everyone from homeschooling advocates to former teachers turned whistleblowers. One episode featured a teenage boy who left traditional school because he was told his drawings were a distraction. That boy was now designing graphics for Poosh's wellness campaigns. "You gave me my freedom back," he told her during the episode, his voice cracking. For Kourtney, it wasn't about rebellion anymore. It was about revolution. But the real moment of impact came when Rain, during a dinner with the extended Kardashian clan, stood up and said, "Mom, I'm not scared to learn anymore. I actually want to." Kylie teared up. Kim gave a rare nod of approval. Even Khloe looked moved. "I don't care if he goes to Harvard or starts a cactus farm in Arizona," Kourtney said later in an interview with Vogue. "I just care that he's confident, kind, and curious." Of course, the headlines never stopped. Kourtney Kardashian declares war on public school system. Is Kourtney starting a cult or just a school? Travis Barker's wife is schooling us all. But behind the clickbait was a deeper truth. One mother with influence had dared to question the foundation so many were too afraid to challenge. And Kourtney, she wasn't done yet. Rumors swirled that she was in talks to launch a digital platform version of Let Me Learn, curriculum kits for parents around the world, social-emotional learning modules, interactive wellness experiments, mindful journaling guides for kids as young as 5. The movement was no longer just about Rain. It was about reclaiming childhood. In the end, Kourtney Kardashian didn't just push back on a fake school system. She built something real in its place.